like many of us, I didn't grow up where finance was talked about in my family, right? It was more so the money doesn't grow on trees and understanding that money pays bills and understanding that we have to work for money. But that's about the extent that conversation went, right? But I like to say in a past life somewhere maybe I was a money manager or something, but somehow I've managed to pick up on really good financial habits, and I have self-educated myself a lot on growing my wealth mindset and things like that. So in this video, I kind of want to share some of the things that I have learned with you. And I do have many videos on this channel about financial empowerment, so definitely check those out. But in this video, and while I am nowhere near like a millionaire, I do well for myself, and I want to share some of the money rules I have began to think about to help myself build wealth. So let's get into those as I share that with you. Number one, you want to realize that wealth is what you don't see, right? A lot of times we look at someone that might have a designer handbag, designer shoes, a mansion, a nice luxury car. You think that person must be wealthy. When in reality, when I'm looking at those things, you know what I'm seeing? That's $600 that's no longer in their bank account. That's a $3 million investment, or it's a $3 million home or whatever that's no longer in their bank account. Like, I'm seeing money spent. I'm not seeing money saved, because wealth is what you have, not what you spend. So when you change that narrative, one, for yourself, it unlocks a whole thing, because now when you're going out and buying stuff, you're choosing quality over quantity, but you're not thinking, well, I have to buy the most expensive thing in order to have money or to be rich. That's the complete opposite, actually. If you think about, Warren Buffett or some of the greatest rich people that you should take advice from, it's not the money they spend that makes them wealthy. It's the money they have, the net worth, how much they have accessible to them, that they can just liquidate their assets and have all this money. A car you can sell, yes, but you're not going to get what you paid for it. A home you can sell, and you might get more what you paid for, which that's a good investment, right? But the material things that have a high ticket, that's not wealth, okay? So don't spend money on material things unless, which brings me to number two, the price per wear is high. So you want to spend money on quality things instead of consistently replacing cheap items, okay? Because buying cheap is more of a poor mindset, and investing in high quality things that are going to last you for a long time, that you're going to get a lot of wears or usage out of it. That's more of a wealthy term, a wealthy mindset, a wealthy way of thinking, a wealthy way of spending money. Something that you're going to use every single day, invest a little more money in that. If it's something that you're barely going to use, maybe that's where you go cheap. Number three, if you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it at all. I think that's fair to say. If you're out shopping and let's say you want a quick dinner and it's $12 for some fish and chips, maybe that's $13. You got $50 in your bank account, you can afford to buy that twice. So yeah, you can afford that item. But if you only got $18 in your bank account and you're trying to go buy a $15 dinner, you can't afford that. Okay, so that's on a small scale. When we're thinking big scale, you want to buy a car that's $7,000, unless you got $14,000, you can't really afford that car. So that's my rule of thumb. If you can't afford it twice, you can't afford it once. And while that's not true, right? I mean, in a literal sense, but what it does for your mindset is it makes you be a little more selective about what you're spending money on. It makes you ask, can I actually afford this? Or am I just spending recklessly on certain items? It helps you stay within a manageable budget. Like when you're buying a home, for example, the home nowadays, like $500,000. Should you have $1 million before you buy a $500,000 home? Maybe not, but you should have close. You should have close. No purchase should take away majority of your assets. If it does, you can't afford it. Number four, and I haven't gotten to this level of wealth, but when I do, I'm going to keep this in mind. If you're going to buy something that's ridiculously expensive and not needed, you have to donate equally as much as that money. So say for no reason at all, because you already own a boat, you want to go buy a new yacht that's $200,000. I mean, I don't know how much yachts are, but let's say it's $200,000. That's kind of ridiculous, right? So equally, if you're gonna go spend that, you gotta go donate at least $100,000. So at least half of whatever you're buying. So now that $200,000 yacht has now became $300,000. And if you still want to buy it, that's great. But I just feel like there's and before you try to police me, like, oh, I'm trying to police how people spend the hard-earned money they worked for. Okay, a lot of y'all didn't work hard for that money. Okay, that's the on the backs of y'all ancestors or someone else's ancestors. Okay, so let's just get that one thing clear. But I'm not trying to say you can't spend your money how you want to spend it. I just think in this society where there's so much wrong with it, we can afford to help out a little bit, right? Like to you $100,000 is nothing, because here you are buying a yacht you don't need, right? You already have a boat, you already have a yacht. Why do you need another one? That it might not be nothing to you, but that can go a long way for a lot of population. So yeah, give back. And that's my way of doing so. I mean, we should just be giving back anyway, okay? But especially when it comes to just buying ridiculous items. Like just going out and buying a pure gold spoon that costs $10,000 just because you want it. Like, come on now. But you're just throwing money down the drain and people starving. So that's all I'm saying. Just let's try to give a little and help the less fortunate, when we can, as we can. Whether that's donating to, organizations that you feel resonate with you, okay? Because you don't have to give your money to just whoever. You can be selective to things that you're passionate about, to whatever earthly causes that move you. Sure. That could be just given to less fortunate members of your family. Maybe you're doing well off, but you got a sister that, owns Section 8. Maybe send her a little money every now and then. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you can pick and choose how you do your charity. But I just think it's good to get back to those a little less fortunate than you. And it helps money circulate, right? The energy of it. Because some of y'all are, yes, rich and wealthy in the pockets, but really poor in the mind. And you hoard all the money you have because you're afraid that you're going to lose it all and be homeless. And so releasing that and allowing yourself to feel free and give your money freely will ensure it comes back to you. I think I will say is just knowing where your money goes. At any point in time, anyone should be able to come up to you and say, what did you spend your money on this year? And you should be able to confidently say, I made $100,000 this year. I spent about $45,000 on the roof over my head alone, and then I spent about this much on my car, and I went on a few trips. Like, you don't have to have like the exact amounts, but you should know how you spend your money, where your money goes. Like, you should be aware of these things. Begin to build that healthy relationship with money where you're checking in on it. You're not just ignoring it and continuing to swipe your card and just have no regard. Should be no reason you're making $80,000 a year. Every year you're like, I don't have any money. And I'm like, okay, what are you spending your money on? And then you say, I don't really know. Like, that's unacceptable. Like, you should know. Okay, and that goes with that wealthy mindset. So there you have it. Those are my money habits to help build wealth and keep it. Okay, because it's in the mind. It's not about how much money you get. It's what you do with that money. And I have made videos about that, so be sure you check it out. But these are a few things that I believe will help you as you get there. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Give me that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate. The knowledge we gain is powerful, but it's the knowledge we share that makes a difference. So share this with someone who maybe has a poor mindset, who makes good money, but they still don't know what exactly to do with their money. Share this with them. Help them out. Spread the word, spread the message, do your part in society. And I will catch you in my next video. As always, don't forget to crush it.